In 2026, the average attention span of someone born after 2000 is approximately 8 seconds, not a cultural curiosity, a cognitive restructuring, and it has a direct, measurable financial cost that almost nobody is talking about. I'm not going to tell you phones are bad. I'm not going to tell you to delete your apps. I'm going to show you the exact mechanism, how the compression of attention maps onto specific financial behaviors, and why the person who cannot hold attention cannot hold assets. These two things are not a metaphor for each other. They are the same problem. Let me start with the mechanism. Every major platform in 2026 is engineered around one principle: replacement over retention. The goal is not to give you something worth keeping your attention on. The goal is to replace what you're looking at with something slightly more stimulating before you decide to leave. Novelty over depth, updates over understanding, the next thing over the current thing, always, automatically. This is not an accident. It is the product. The platform is free. The cognitive erosion it produces is the price, and it is the most expensive free product ever built. Here is what 8 seconds of average attention span means in financial terms. A DCA strategy, buying a fixed amount on a fixed schedule regardless of price, requires you to do nothing when the market drops 40%. Nothing. Not rebalance, not pause, not research an alternative, nothing. That is not a financial skill. That is a cognitive one. It requires the ability to hold a position, mentally, emotionally, behaviorally, in the face of information that is screaming at you to act. The platforms are specifically engineered to make holding feel wrong. Every red candle generates content. Every drawdown generates takes. The algorithm does not profit from you holding. It profits from you engaging. And engagement in a down market almost always means selling. The person who sold Bitcoin at the bottom of every major correction since 2015 was not stupid. They were exactly where the environment trained them to be: responsive, reactive, unable to hold. Now let me show you what this looks like at a deeper level. MIT research has documented what happens to the prefrontal cortex under conditions of continuous partial attention, the region responsible for long-term planning, impulse control, and the ability to delay gratification. Structurally impaired by sustained, shallow engagement. Not temporarily distracted, structurally impaired. This is the Universe 25 pattern running inside a human brain. In Calhoun's experiment, the beautiful ones stopped performing complex behaviors because the environment had removed the need for them. The capacity atrophied, not suppressed. Atrophied. When an environment replaces thinking with recommendations, the capacity for independent thought does the same thing. It gets outsourced, then it gets delegated, then it disappears. The compounding curve requires years, not weeks. Year 3 of a DCA strategy feels like nothing is working. Year 5 feels slow. Year 7 is where the curve bends. The person who needs constant confirmation will exit at year 3. When the feed was full of people who had made more money faster. When 8 seconds of attention was not enough to remember why they started. This is not a discipline problem. It is an architectural problem. Architecture is the only solution. Automatic transfers. A portfolio review schedule measured in months, not hours. I check my portfolio once a month. Not because I don't care, but because I understand what happens to decision quality when the review frequency goes up. The more often you look, the more noise you see. The more noise you see, the more you feel like you should act. Infrequency is not negligence. It is the strategy. The financial system and the attention economy run the same playbook. Both profit from your reaction. The person who escapes is the one who built a framework before they got captured. One action: cut your review frequency in half for 30 days. Measure what changed in your behavior, because your behavior is the only variable you control. I chose 9 years. Subscribe. The next video goes even deeper.